A salvo of Caliber cruise missiles launched from the Black Sea in the south of Ukraine as Russia's war on its neighbor enters a second month. The Russian Defense Ministry claims it fired upon infrastructure of the Ukrainian armed forces. Meanwhile, in the Ukrainian city of Lviv, firefighters work to extinguish a blaze at fuel storage facilities hit by Russian cruise missiles. The next day, people seek comfort in prayer at Lviv's Church of the Holy Eucharist. Russia's invasion of Ukraine was the focus of a speech delivered by President Joe Biden in Poland's capital, Warsaw, on Saturday.
Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia, for free people refused to live in a world of hopelessness and darkness. We will have a different future, a brighter future, rooted in democracy and principles, hope and light, of decency and dignity, of freedom and possibilities. For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
The president's speech capped a 4-day trip to Europe where he visited members of the 82nd Airborne Division and Ukrainian refugees in Poland. The White House later clarified his off-the-script comments, saying Biden was not advocating regime change in Moscow, and other U.S. officials made clear Sunday that is not Washington's policy.
Anytime you say, or even as he did, suggest that the policy was regime change, it's going to cause a huge problem. This administration has done everything they can to stop escalating. There's not a whole lot more you can do to escalate than to call for regime change.
Others say Biden's remark at the end of his speech about Putin should not be the focus.
This should not overshadow what was an extraordinarily important and successful trip to Europe, one that the U.S. really led, as it has done so impressively, really, throughout this entire effort. And pulled together, guided, and then ultimately with this speech it was a very, very strong statement, obviously.
As Russian shelling continues, thick smoke fills the air in destroyed residential areas on the outskirts of Kyiv.
Everybody should be concentrated over one goal, to make sure that Ukraine is capable, financially stable to resist and defend until the political solution, how to restore the territorial integrity of Ukraine and a peace around Europe, is there.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, in an address, echoed calls for tanks, armored vehicles, and jets. He compared the Russian invasion to the way Nazis tried to conquer Europe 80 years ago, adding that no one will forgive them. Arash, Arabasadi, VOA News.